All right. We're here for another night of shits and giggles. Shits and giggles. Remember, we're here for my therapeutic purposes, not for your entertainment. But if you so happen to be entertained by this, then it's a win-win. And for anyone that I haven't yet offended, please be patient. I'll get to you shortly. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Fun times. Another day in paradise. As you can see, I'm repping my loser Steelers gear. You know, it is what it is. They lost tonight. Hey, listen, I'm just glad they didn't get their asses whooped at home like how Dallas did the other night. So not taking solace in the loss, but as long as it's not on my home field, I can live with it. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's a lot easier a lot easier when you lose on the road than when you lose at home. Especially
100%.
like,
Who wants to,
especially when
who
you're
wants to lose in their house?
Exactly.
You know, it's like somebody coming to your house and beating your ass in front of your family.
Exactly. That's what Dallas looked like yesterday. That's exactly
imagine,
what did you
imagine a man comes to your house and just starts beating the crap out of you in front of your family and kids, and you can't do a damn thing about it. I'm not saying it can't happen. That's pretty much what it's like losing at home in any type of sport. At least that's my take on it. All right, should be able to at least defend your home. But yeah. Anyways, my team's out of the playoffs, so I guess KC and Buffalo, you guys just got to do it.
Yeah, KC, my team. Yeah, always. It would have been sad if we lost because I mean, defending champs, you never want to go out in the first round of the playoffs. So that
you don't
was
want to go out, period.
You don't want to go out, period, but you definitely don't want to go out in the first round of the playoffs as a defending champs. That was my concern.
100%.
Miami didn't look too. Yeah.
I told you Miami was on some. I was telling you that Miami was on some soft things, anyways. Like they don't beat anybody over 500. So and they stayed true to who they are. Play calling was trash. You know, I used Tyreek Hill's word, trash. Play calling was trash. I think he made one catch or maybe two. And that was really about it. The rest of the team just didn't look like they were in sync. Kudos to KC. Let's see how it goes down in Buffalo next week. Should be fun times.
Yeah, and we're playing in Buffalo, so that should be interesting. But I mean, last night's game proved that we should be able to handle their weather. So not last night's game. We played on Saturday night, right? Yeah, Saturday night
game. Yeah.
We should be able to handle their weather because I mean our game was pretty freaking cold. But
you guys were a few degrees, I think maybe a smidge of degrees warmer, but still well below zero. So you guys both played in the same crappy weather and did well. You guys should be good.
It was one of the coldest games in playoff history. It was one of the coldest games. I think this top four.
Yeah, it was top four. It was in the top four.
But
definitely
that Dallas game. That Dallas game. Green Bay came to play. And like you said, like the way I feel bad for the fans. They look so, those little kids that I saw in the stands crying.
Why do you feel bad? This is part of what being a fan is.
You always ask me that. Yeah,
you
but
win and you lose, man.
Listen, because I can feel someone else's pain. You know what I mean? I can put myself in someone else's shoes and I can feel what they're feeling.
Sorry, I don't want to wear the loser's shoes right now. They can go home and lick their wounds. Look, I'm wearing loser's shoes right now too. So I'm even talking about myself. My team got their ass cut too.
You lick your wounds while I celebrate my little win.
Hey, listen, I'm already done licking. I'm gonna take this shirt off as soon as this pod thing is done. Don't worry. Hat, shirt comes off, and you know what? I'm rocking my Blue Jay gear after this. Off to baseball it is.
Baseball season. So that's exactly how I feel when the season's done. Yep.
What am I going to do? On to the next. On to the next. So what you got going on? How's your week been? How's everything else? How's life?
The weekend was a little bit rough, but I survived.
Rough. Is this something you want to talk about?
Here. No. Not at all.
Wow, that was a pretty quick abrupt no. No follow-up questions?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
Not really.
Nothing, sharing is caring, right?
Listen, that's true. That's true. And I appreciate your concern. I appreciate your
Do
concern.
you?
Of course I do. You know that.
Well, I'm
You
just
don't
I'm
want
just asking. Don't get all uptight, man. No need to get all in spirit right now, man.
we
I'm
could
just
talk
asking
about
a
that
quick
later.
question.
We could talk about that.
All right, I
But
hear
yeah,
you.
no.
I hear you.
You know,
I hear you.
there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot going on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
life. You know, the life. And I'm trying to navigate some stuff, work through some things,
Mm-hmm.
and figure shit out. That's what I do now. That's what I do. So you sent me something about some Dunkin' Donut thing. Where was this?
It's in Florida, man, where dude was sitting on a toilet, and apparently the toilet must have blew up under his ass. That must have been a sight to see a man get levitated off of a toilet while he's taking a shit. Um, Hey, it would suck to be you if you're sitting on that shitter, man, and that thing going off underneath your ass. Um,
Listen,
the crazy part about all this is, dude's only suing for like 100,000, which is like you and I both know that 100,000 maybe 20 years ago was something. 100,000
that ain't doing
doesn't
shit
even
now.
barely
That ain't
that
doing
doesn't
shit now.
that's not even a down payment, barely a down payment for a house. You know, you can try to maybe get one of those cheaper condos if you're lucky, but 100 grand don't go as far as it used to, at least not in Canada. Maybe in the
Yeah.
States it's still worth something.
Oh yeah.
100
Oh
grand,
for sure.
100 grand here
Oh
ain't
for
even
sure.
toilet paper anymore, man.
Right here, yeah. No, you can't wipe your ass with that shit.
It's chump
So he's
change.
covered in crap and urine and debris and all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I already have an issue with public washrooms. I don't like public washrooms to begin with, right? Now
No, but if
I'm
you gotta
wondering a
go, you
couple of
gotta
things
go.
because there's not a lot of
Mhm.
detail in this article. So I'm wondering a few things here. Now, did this occur when he flushed the toilet? Was he actually sitting on the toilet when this happened? Did this occur when he flushed the toilet and the toilet exploded on him?
Hey,
Right?
look, I just saw the damn article. I wasn't sitting there watching this
But,
mofo to see
but you
see
know
what
me, I
was
have a
happening.
curious mind. I have a curious mind. I wanna know, how did this happen? Right?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen? What occurred here? Right? Because all you know is he went to use the washroom and he ended up covered in shit, among other things. Right?
Maybe
Did he go and
because it's
flush the
going through
toilet?
court.
Did he sit on the toilet? Like, why are you sitting on a public toilet?
Yo, a ton of people sit on public. What's wrong with you? People
But
sit on public toilets all the time.
to me, that's not normal.
Maybe you don't,
Yeah, that's not
but
normal.
other people do. I won't.
Mm-mm.
I won't sit on a public toilet. I kind of wait till
Bro.
I go home, man. Like
Like
that's always
I'd
kind of
rather
the
not
rules.
use the public toilet. If I'll use it if I have to, but not to sit down on. I can hold a squat.
Yo, I
I can.
remember my days working at Mickey. I remember my days working at Mickey D's, and I always used to think, the men's washroom was probably the worst washroom, but I got a shocking revelation when I started cleaning bathrooms for a living when I was working at McDonald's. And man, the woman's bathroom beat the men's bathroom 100 times over.
I can
The
only
worst thing a
imagine.
man's gonna do, the worst thing a man can do is piss on the seats, and friggin' maybe he takes a dookie and the shit flows over. Friggin', I went into some of these bathrooms and these women had their shit stuck on the walls and shit. Signy bag there, they stick the thing right beside the signy bag.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there
Listen,
going, oh my gosh, this is disgusting.
people are
Yeah, but
nasty.
I didn't realize that as a young kid going into a woman's bathroom, that was the sight I was going to encounter.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of more things that go on in a woman's washroom than men. I guess
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I
we
get
have
it.
more functions. We have more functions than y'all do. So
Like I
the
said, I
crazy
figured it
thing
out.
is, this guy comes out of the washroom, right?
Hmm.
And he complains to management or to the staff at the Dunkin' Donuts, and they're aware of the situation. This happened before. So why is there no out of order sign in the washroom, on the door, on that particular stall if it's a stall situation? You know what I mean? Why is there no out of order sign if you're aware of the situation? No wonder why they're getting sued. Listen, this must be entertainment for them. You're aware of the situation and you're allowing it to continue. You want to see people covered in shit.
Well, you know
In a
what? That's the
Dunkin'
price
Donut.
you pay. That's the price you pay for using a public bathroom.
Well, now you know not to eat Dunkin' Donuts, especially in
Uh,
Florida.
hey, remember the Dunkin' Donuts used to be here in Toronto once upon a time?
I think
Um,
they still have
I
Dunkin' Donuts here.
I haven't seen a Dunkin' Donut in forever. I
They
think the
don't have
last
a
time I
lot
saw
of
a
they don't have
Dunkin'
a lot
Donut,
of locations, but I think they still have
they
them
still
here.
are. You know what I
They
saw the
might.
other day? People, somebody was going crazy over Krispy Kreme, and I was like, the
The-
greasiest ass donut you can
There's
find
a Krispy
is.
Kreme store in Scarborough. Apparently, well, I don't know about now, but when I first heard about it, which was probably I think in 2020, the lineup
Mhm.
was like crazy. I think that's when they opened. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I haven't been over there. But crispy, I wouldn't say that they're greasy. I would say that they're covered in glaze. They're very
Too
glazed,
much,
very very very
too much.
very
Those
sweet,
are the type
and
of
they
donuts where you, after eating one of those donuts, you can automatically erase
you don't really have to chew them. They kind of melt in your mouth.
five and stuff. You know,
Yeah. Have you
sounds
ever
some
had the donuts
crazy
at
level.
McDonald's? Have you seen the donuts at McDonald's? They look fake. They look like they're
Who
on
the
a like.
frick goes
They're
to
these little
McDonald's to?
tiny.
Who goes to?
They're those little.
Yo, who goes to McDonald's for donuts, guy? Like, really? Why would you go to McDonald's for donuts? You deserve to be beat up. Someone
Well,
should
that's
slap you
probably
with
that's
a beef
probably
patty.
why. No violence, no violence. But listen,
I'm not saying violence. Hey, listen, I could throw the patty at you. It doesn't mean I have to stand there and hit you with it. I'm just saying, who goes to McDonald's for a donut? I was asking, who goes to McDonald's for a donut?
if you fling a patty in somebody's face, that still constitutes as an assault.
Jeez, now we're going to use a technical term.
Listen, I
Okay.
listen.
I,
Oh my
I,
gosh. Oh yeah, you weren't around at that time. I remember one time I got into it with my dad. I balled up a piece of newspaper and threw it at him. He threatened to call the police for me.
your dad's a different beast, man.
And
He's
I was
on some
like,
next
I
level
I was
stuff.
like, I was like, really? I was like, I dare you. I dare you. I'm like, I can't wait to see you tell them the story.
Hey, years ago at my old workplace, I got written up for throwing paper. Meanwhile, you have guys tackling each other in the walk lane, and the director wanted to write me up for
Why
throwing
do I feel like
paper.
I remember the story?
And I remember when they
Did we
tried
work
to
at the
get me to
same place
sign.
at the time?
Yeah. We worked at the
Okay,
same
yeah.
place. And
Okay.
when they tried to get me to sign papers to say that I was in agreement that it's dangerous, I was like, please show me statistics of the amount of people that have got concussions or lost an eye from a balled up piece of paper. If you can
Mhm.
show me that and show me that there's a lot of significant injuries from balled up pieces of paper and
You
people
could
getting
probably
injured,
find someone in the
I'm not
States.
saying
You could
I'm not
probably
saying
find
that you
someone in the
can't
States because
find
you
it.
know they like
Like,
to
hear
super
me out. Hear me out.
everything.
I'm not saying that you can't find it. I'm
Oh
saying
yeah.
show me statistics. There's a difference. People get struck by lightning, but that shit don't happen every day. That's my
No, of
point I'm
course.
trying to make. The odds of it happening is very, very slim. Now,
Very
being
smart.
tackled in your hallway at work, there's a far greater chance of you getting messed up when somebody's tackling you like you're playing on a football field, right? That was my issue, and those people never got written up. But I ain't even going to touch on that any further. We already know what it is and what
Well,
happened at
you
that
know,
place. And
I was
we
gonna
already
ask
know
a
what it is.
question.
So I'm gonna leave it
Mm,
at that.
so we're not touching on that.
No, not today. I'm gonna leave that
Okay,
alone.
not today. Not today. We're gonna leave that alone today. Not today. We're not
We'll
gonna
leave
do
that
that.
alone. That's another topic.
That's
Yeah.
another topic for another day. Hmm.
You want to talk?
And we and we and we
That
will be
topic.
discussing that. We will be discussing that.
That topic is called microaggression.
Yeah,
but anyways, as I said, we touch on that another day. That's something else
another
we can
day.
definitely touch on.
Absolutely. We're keeping it light tonight.
Is it really light? Because I do, if I don't recall, I think we were. What was one of the things we wanted to touch on tonight? Wasn't it? Were
Fake
useless
people?
parents?
Oh,
Fake
okay. We'll
people.
talk about
Fake
them
people
first.
was one of them, but it was fake people, useless
And
parents.
useless parents. Yeah, parents
What?
like doing dumb shit. Yeah. Deadbeat dads and whatless moms. They're all over.
Hundred
They're all
percent.
over. You
Every.
got like. Let me ask your opinion on something.
Of course.
You're a dad, right? Okay.
19 years in.
Okay. This is gonna be different for you though, but
Hmm.
let's say you know, it's your weekend and your daughter's sick. And you get the option of whether or not you want to take her. What are you gonna do?
So you ask my opinion or what I've done. There's two ways I can answer this.
Not what you've done. Let's
My
say
opinion.
now in these times, because now, like, you know, everybody's freaking out about all these illnesses and shit. So let's say she has something contagious. Let's go there. Let's say she has something contagious.
So if she has something contagious, I mean, she's already home. Generally, I would just say, you know what, let's sit this weekend out until you're 100%, and then we'll go from there. If she
Okay.
doesn't have any other options, hold on. She doesn't have any other options where her mother has to go somewhere and really can't keep her, and like she's young, or he or she is young, then by all means I'll take them. I don't have an issue with that. But my thing is, it all depends on what your lifestyle is. Like, say for instance, I'm an entrepreneur. I can't afford to take days off. I'm not saying that I would never take a day off, but if there's other options and my child doesn't live with me full time and they're already sick at their mother's house, then I would say just stay there until you're better. That's just my opinion, right?
Okay.
In a case where the child starts crying and says, please, please take me, I want to come over, then I'm going to take them regardless of what it is. I'll still go and pick them up. And I have done that in the past, just for the record.
Of course. Okay. So that's understandable, especially with something that's contagious. And, you know, especially if the child's sick, you don't want to be moving the child around too much too, right? Depending on what it is they're sick with. If it's just like sniffles and a cold and shit, then that's one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, something that's, you know, kind of abnormal and highly contagious, that's a little different. Now,
100%.
once you know that your child has something that's kind of abnormal and highly contagious, and, you know, now you're not going to see them for the weekend or whatever your visitation time is. Would you not check in?
Of course.
See how the kid's doing?
I hope that's a rhetorical. Kind of hoping that's a rhetorical question because to me it sounds like a no-brainer.
Okay, I know what you would do, but I mean, like, you're gonna sit there. Oh, you know, let's say Thursday you find out that your kid's sick. It's Monday now, and you haven't checked in since. I guess
I'm
you
gonna
just took
say
it as, oh
this.
shit, I got a free weekend.
We all, just like every aspect of life, whether it's your child or whatever the relationship is, we all have a different level of standard of care. And I say that in the most sincerest way. Everybody has their own level of what they're gonna do, what they rationalize as good and what they rationalize as bad. Some people might say somebody's doing something over the top. Um, I've always had issues with parents that, and again, not my child, but parents that love to reward their kids when they're not even doing the right things that they're supposed to be doing, whether it's grades, they don't listen to you, they tell you off, and you turn around and you give them a new game console. Or they're older, you buy them a car after they tell you to go after yourself. And I'm sitting there looking at the parent like, So kid tells you where to go, you buy them a car. Kid tells you where you can go, and you give them a game console.
Oh, you
So how
spend
are
a
you
bunch
teaching
of
them?
money on a lavish party. But I mean, like, and that's part of the issue is the parents, right? Like going back to these, like, this is the situation. This is okay, and this is why I want to talk to you too because you are a dad. I've noticed that it's a very different dynamic for a lot of most dads, for men, and when the child doesn't live with them, right? They
Mhm.
have more freedom to do things. They make their decisions differently. Like you, for instance, I know you when it came to your child, right? If you were going to make a move or something, you're not going to move too far away from her, right? But you're a dedicated father. There are a lot of fathers out there that they're fine going for months, years without seeing their children, right? Where maternal instinct, right? Majority of situations where the child lives with the mother can't just, oh yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna, you know, pick up and leave, and the kid gets dropped off at the dad's. I'm gonna move to, you know, Alberta, you know, and dads can, I'll move to Alberta and I'll send for my kid on holidays and stuff like that. You know,
Well,
how do you feel about
you
that?
know, So in life, we all grade things of how we value things. And not to take away from anybody's parenting style, but I'll use my, because I don't want to talk on anybody else's life, so I'm gonna talk on my life because I can say my life because ain't nobody can tell me about my life. My father was in the picture. He paid child support. Is he a good man? Reasonably. He's likable. If you meet him, most people will, gravitate to him because he's a funny guy. For me growing up, he paid child support. He followed me to a few school parent teacher interviews when my mom kind of said, hey, you need to go. Outside of that, he wasn't really there in that regards because he was always working, and he paid attention more to the kids that were living with him more so than me that wasn't living with him. And I'll say this to tie it all in. The reason why he did all that, and he told me to my face, he said, I love the way you're raising your daughter, number one, which I thank him for saying that. But he also said, I knew your mother could handle it. So I sat there and they took me back and I put my hand on my jaw and I said, what does you mean by that? He goes, I wasn't there because I knew your mom could handle it. So he made a decision to not be full-time or part-time because he figured that my mom would do his job, which she did. I applaud her and give her praise for that. But with that being said, just because you have a strong woman doesn't give you the carte blanche to dump your responsibility on that woman. You still have a child to raise, right? I'm not angry or bitter or any of that stuff. I'm not going to be one of those people, not ungrateful, because he is there. Like, I'd be lying if I said he was never ever there. He was there. It's just he could have been there more, right? When he took the other kids to Disney World, never invited me. When he went to baseball games, if the other kids were busy, then I got invited. It was never a choice. It was a last option, right? So I always kept this in the back of my mind when I was raising my daughter. And I said, I would not want this. I wouldn't want another kid to go through that because it's a very crummy existence in that regards, because you know what? You want that other parent to be there, but you learn to do your own thing at the same time as well, right?
That's so true. That's so true. And I hear a lot of guys use the excuse, oh, I don't see my kid because my baby mother does this or my baby mother's like this or da. What does that have to do with your child? A. And B, if your baby mother's so bad, wouldn't you want to be more present in your child's life? If she's so horrible, right? If she's such a B, wouldn't you want to be more present in your child's life and make sure your child's protected?
So,
right? Because there are some women out there that can be vindictive too, right? And they might not like the baby father or might not like how he did them or whatever, and they might take that out on the child.
So I'm going to say this. Oh, sorry. Finish saying what you're going to say, and I'm going to kind of tie this all in and kind of tie it up at the end. No, finish saying what you're saying.
Because there are women who may have multiple children with different fathers, right? And depending on how they feel about that father, they treat those children accordingly, right? I've seen that. That's just not cool either. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna say?
I say in general, people treat other people, objects, whatever it is, based on the value. And I'm going to tell you why.
That is correct.
So if I told someone that their child will garner them $1 million if they can take care of them fully until the child is 20 years old, I guarantee you'd see a lot more dedicated parents. And you know why? There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
There's an incentive.
There's an incentive for you to do it. So there's a lot of people, if there's not an incentive there for them to do it, they don't see the incentive that there's a life, an individual that you're molding, that's going to be a part of, hopefully a working part of society, contributing the same way that you're contributing. If they don't see that that is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, then they're not going to put that degree of effort. So I say it's just they don't see the value, right? And people are going to dispute and say, no, it's not like that. But you know what? it's not what you say, it's what you do.
You do,
So you
exactly.
can say whatever you want, but your actions is what's going to dictate what people are going to see and how
That is
people are going to
correct.
view what happens,
That
right? So you
is
can tell somebody
correct.
you love them until you're blue in the face. Oh, I love this and I love that, but your actions speak
Your
different.
actions speak
And the
louder
same
than
thing,
words. Your actions will
same
tell
thing.
you what it is. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And that goes
Right?
for any type of, you see it with parents and their children, right? You see it
Mhm.
with, children and their parents. You see it with siblings. You see it in all kinds of relationships, People make time for what's important to them. People will make time for what they value, right? For what they value. And
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong
that
with
and
that.
correct.
It's human
What
nature. It's
they
human nature.
value. Yeah.
Yep. People will put importance on what they value. People will nurture what they value, right? They will nurture the relationships that they value. There's some people that come around when, it's convenient for them, but then, other times they're nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? But it's all in how they value those relationships. And that's all we have to be mindful of, right?
100%. 100%. And it goes for everything.
Yeah. But
Whether
but but
you're
parents do need to understand that their actions do affect their children and the mindset of their children, right? Whether good or bad, whether they feel that they're doing good or bad. You know what I mean? There's a lot of times when parents are trying to do the right thing and they really feel like they're doing the right thing, but a lot of times, some of those times, they might be doing a disservice to their child and they don't realize it in the moment and they don't want to hear anybody telling them. You know what I mean? But you got to allow people, because you can't tell people how to raise their children, especially if you're someone like me who don't have no children, right? You can't tell people how to raise your children. But just because someone doesn't have children doesn't mean that they don't have those skills or the instincts, maternal, paternal, parental instincts that's
so
required. But just
I'm
because
gonna
people
I'm
have
gonna
children
cut
doesn't mean
you
that they have
I'm
the
gonna cut
instincts
you
that are
I'm gonna
required.
cut you right there before you go any further. You don't have to have children to know how to love somebody.
That's true. That is
That's all it
absolutely
really
true.
comes down to. You don't have to have a child to learn how to love somebody. If you love somebody, you'll figure out a way how to A, care about the person, B, not hurt the person, and just do all the things right. You're not perfect. You're gonna make mistakes. Everyone,
You're gonna make
everyone makes
mistakes.
mistakes, right?
Yeah.
That's why there's erasers on pencils, because we all make mistakes. It is what it is. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But whenever I hear somebody make that comment, well, you haven't done this, I'm like, well, love is still love, man. If you love somebody, you'll learn how to take care of that person or to make sure that person is well cared for, and all the above. Like, look at me with my dog. Like, I never thought I'd be into dogs and all that other type of stuff. And I actually love my dog, man. You know what? If I didn't have him, I don't know. It'd be a lot different. Although he drives me nuts every once in a while, if he has diarrhea, he takes a shit on the floor, drives me fucking crazy. But it is what it is because you learn to love that individual. And I didn't give
Exactly.
birth to the dog. And I
This
know
is
I don't
true.
want to, and please don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing a dog to a child or a human
No,
being.
no.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
I know that. I
love,
know
if
that.
you learn to love something,
If you learn to
you
love
will put the
something,
effort.
especially
Yes.
especially if you love unconditionally,
Yes.
especially if you
You will learn
love
to take
that
care of
person
that thing
unconditionally
and
and love that thing
nurture it.
unconditionally, just like Bella,
And that's why I
just like
use the
my
dog as
Bella.
an example
I didn't
because
want no
it's you.
pet. I didn't want no pet. You see, you wanted a pet. I didn't want no pet. I got Bella for a different reason, right? Yeah, she was supposed to be my exterminator, but she was so cute and tiny when I got her. I just fell in love with her, and I've raised her. I've raised her. I love her. She's turned out to be so therapeutic for me.
Mhm.
I mean, she can be a little bit crazy at times and destructive, but
Like the mother.
you know,
Sorry, did I say that out loud? Sorry. You know what? Sometimes that Tourette syndrome kicks in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
yeah.
okay. It's okay. Listen, see, the thing is, the difference between me and a lot of people is I own my shit. Crazy, not stupid. Crazy, not stupid.
I understand. Listen, everybody's got a little bit of cray cray. floating
That
around
is
here and
right.
there. So it's okay.
And
Right?
anybody who says any different is a liar. Is a liar. And you know how I feel about liars.
Mm-hmm.
My message to liars today, like, either stop or just take notes, man. Keep up your shit. If you're gonna tell the lie, keep up the lie. Don't forget the lie and then get vexed with somebody else because they remember your shit. Okay? Because they remember the first version of the story you told. Don't get vexed. Don't get vexed. Yeah.
You know what a liar's worst enemy is, right?
Somebody with a good memory.
Right. Somebody with a really good memory. That's a
Uh-huh.
liar's worst enemy, right?
That's right. That's right. Yes. So, what else is going on?
Same old usual life things. You know,
Yeah.
winter is definitely in full effect. Um, as we can see outside, shit's gone down to like -9. I want to go outside and take my this little dude for a walk, but it's cold, man. And,
That's why I'm glad I
usually
have
if
a
I do
cat,
take it
man.
for a walk, yeah, you know what? You can keep your cat indoors. It's so much easier. I got to be putting all kinds of shit on this guy's paws so that he doesn't crack his paws from the salt and everything else. And the brisk walk are literally like 10 minutes. Around the block, come back, you know?
Mhm.
But
But the
aside
good
from
thing is,
that, mm,
no, go ahead.
no, aside from that, nothing much on the go. Just, regular life stuff. Nothing too crazy on the go.
As you say, winter's in full effect. Drum roll, drum roll. It is in full effect for this week only. Okay, this is gonna be the coldest week out of the entire winter. I went ahead on AccuWeather and I checked the forecast all the way into July. All the way into July. This week is gonna be the coldest week of winter. February is not even gonna be this cold.
You
And
trust
I
that shit?
have no problem. Yes, it was very accurate last summer. That's why we missed all those games. I knew we were gonna play a lot of games. It was very accurate because
Hmm.
I checked that in April, and it said we were gonna have a very rainy summer, lots of active weather,
So
and it
you
was
checked the
very
fact that it was
accurate.
gonna rain every single Thursday at our
I
time when
didn't
we're
check
gonna play.
Thursday. I didn't check Thursday, but I knew there was gonna be a lot of rain. Okay, okay, and it
No, no,
just
no.
happened
You
to be
said you
Thursday.
knew
This
we
is
were
no,
gonna miss a lot of games.
yeah,
That's what
because
you
there was
just
gonna
said.
be a lot of rain because okay, partly too because the town of Richmond Hill, you know how they get about their fields, right? So if it's
Hmm.
raining, if it's pouring ass rain on Wednesday and the sun didn't come out on Thursday and that field's still wet, you know they're not letting us play. You know they're not letting us play. They're bougie about their fields. They're not letting us play. Their fields don't look like the fields in Toronto. Patchy patchy and all that shit.
Yeah,
So
I
you
know.
know they don't. You know they don't play about their fields. So when I saw how much rain we were getting, I didn't expect us to miss as many games as we did. Like I think you said we missed more games than anybody else in the season just because of how it happened to be scheduled, right? The earlier game
We
might play,
had
but then, you know, we might have had the later game and that one ended up getting canceled because the rain started, right?
the season had we had 17 games in total. We only played 9 of the 17 games.
Exactly.
One of those games was a smog. I call it the smog game, and that's when we had the forest fires were burning, and
Oh, yes, yes. And they
so
had
that
the
wasn't a rain.
weather
That wasn't a rain
advisory.
off. That was
It wasn't a
we had
rain
the
out, it was
weather
the weather
advisory,
advisory. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I had other captains cussing me out, saying, we should have gone out there. Meanwhile, the news is telling you if you cannot by all chance stay indoors. So yeah, so we had the smog game, and the rest of the other 7 games were all rain out. So out of our 17 games, eight of them were games that
For
we
rain
weren't
out,
able to play.
for rain out,
Rain,
or games that
well,
we weren't able to
yeah,
play.
7
Yeah.
rainouts and 1 smog game.
And the
Yeah,
one small game. But the good thing is the way I like the way that our tournament works. So we don't have an asterisk on our championship because it's
yeah,
clean slate on tournament day. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just positioning as to who plays where, but we end up playing all the teams anyways. You know what I
Win and
mean? We
you're
still
in.
end up playing all
That's
the
how it
teams.
works.
So,
Win and
but
you're in.
hey, we won the championship, so that's all that matters. Back on top.
Got to defend that bad boy. Which reminds
I
me,
like championship teams. I'm all about championship teams.
no pun intended, I take with that comment that you just made.
Mhm. So yeah. Speaking of championship teams, who's playing right now? We got Who's playing them? Oh, the Bucks and the Eagles.
Yeah,
Who was
Bucks and the
favorite to
Eagles
win
are
this
playing.
one?
Eagles. The Eagles are the better team all season, but they have been playing pretty mediocre down the
Like
stretch.
Miami? They've been playing like Miami.
Actually, I think they've been playing a little bit worse than Miami down the stretch, in the sense that these guys should be beating up on the teams that are losing to. But you know what? We'll see what happens. You know, the playoffs is a new season anyway, so you can't really count
That's it.
everything
And you know how football is any given Sunday.
any given Sunday, even though it's Monday. But any given Sunday.
Look what happened to Dallas yesterday. I have to say.
I'm done. I'm not even going back. We're done with Dallas.
No, because
That shit's in the garbage.
honestly, I've been wanting to see a Green Bay Kansas City Super Bowl. I've been wanting to see a rematch of Super Bowl one with a different outcome. I want to see a Green Bay Kansas City Super Bowl. So,
Do you know who won the first Super Bowl?
Yes, Green Bay. It was against Kansas City. That's why I said I want a rematch of Super Bowl one with a different outcome.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, any closing thoughts for tonight? You think we should leave them with some advice or something, or
What do you mean in terms of
anything, life, anything? You know, don't eat the yellow snow. That type of shit.
Jeez. You already got that advice last week. You got to come up with something new and original.
Did you say that last week?
I damn sure did.
Oh, okay.
Or was that the week before? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Last week, hey, remember, last week I didn't even have my voice. Last week I was total whispers.
You were good by camera time. By camera time, you didn't even sound the way you did in the morning. Not even close. Like you didn't even sound like the same person.
Yeah, I tried my best, but yeah, last week my voice was like a frog. Like I had a frog in my throat last week. So this week I'm much better, thankfully. You know, great things. But yeah.
Well, remember, don't whiz on the electric fence.
Jesus, are you really gonna go to that?
Do you remember that?
Of course I remember that. It's kind of dumb, but whatever.
Listen, that's one of my favorite episodes, okay?
Oh God. Yeah.
That's my favorite episode. That's the one with Cousin Spin. Listen, my sister knows. My sister knows. Okay. I think she knows that episode like verbatim. She knows the script for that episode. So.
Yeah, you guys are kind of weird like that, remembering certain aspects of scripts and certain shows and reciting them in the mirror and all that type of.
It was a good show. You probably, what did you watch? Beavis and Butthead?
Amongst other shows.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy is way better than Beavis and Butthead.
I watched Ren and Stimpy as well too.
Ren and Stimpy is way better than Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead don't want nothing.
But that's not our debate today, buddy. We're not debating what show was better. We're just talking about stuff in general, you know?
The electric fence. Okay, I'm done.
You got beat up a lot as a kid, I can tell.
Never.
Someone grabbed you by the pixie tails and just started slapping you around.
I didn't have pixie tails, okay? We won't get into that.
I was gonna say something.
We won't get into that.
Something, but I ain't picking no fights right now. So
yeah, let's not. Let's save that for next time. Let's save it for next time. All right.
All right.
Well, you enjoy your night. Everyone else, be safe. Be safe out there in those streets.
Be safe.
Be real out there in those streets. Be real. Keep it real, man.
Amen to that. Have a great night, everybody. You take it easy.
Peace out.